things have passed away. The devil just gave you a little brief glimpse of me. But I'm like you, brother. Put a comma by my name. Because it's some more to come this morning. You don't know me yet. Because 1 Timothy 6:12 say, I'm studying to show myself approved unto God, a workman that need not be ashamed, but rightly dividing the word of truth. See, in other words, you don't know my story. You don't know what it took to get me saved. Huh? You don't know. You don't know the fight I got on my hands. But I tell you what, if you would like to walk a mile in my shoes, I don't know. Well, I don't know what y'all been through. But you know what? I was passing by Darnell, Arkansas, and they had a graveyard out there. And this one tombstone was by the street. And he had on there, I left this tombstone here to let someone know that I lived this life. And maybe they will follow in my footsteps. Somebody came along and put a sign next to the tombstone. Said, before you follow in his footsteps, you better know what type of life he lived. You see, before you try to sum somebody else up, you need to check yourself out. Seems like to me you could be delivered. You don't know. You don't know. You don't really know. Quit judging folks. Come on now. Quit judging people. Quit looking at people. Trying to figure them out. I tell folks, you ain't got no heaven or hell to put folks in. But the only thing you got to do is be an example. Come on now. To them. In word and speech. What are you saying, Pastor? Well, I'm saying that since I'm in Christ now, I don't talk the same. I don't act the same. You can't push my buttons anymore. You can't get me off course with that same old. Everything done changed about me. How many of y'all friends can say, I notice a difference in your life? How many of us, our friends, can say, you know what? I really, really wish I could trade places with you because I see what God is doing in your life. Well, let me tell you something. You are known by the company you keep. And if you're hanging around folks that don't see nothing in you, I'm a firm believer today that I don't hang with losers. All right. I'm a firm believer today. I will not hang with folks that is not going nowhere. I don't hang with preachers that got mentalities that they ain't gonna make it. You stay over there with that. I need somebody around me encouraging me and telling me to hold on. I need somebody that even after I make a mistake and I fall, you don't come to the church and play 7, 4, and 11, but you begin to pray for me. Come on now. See, we can find a few folks like that they not gonna make a big mockery of everything happened, but they gonna tell folks, hold on, the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to he that endureth to the end. That's the thing I love about God. That God looks at what's happening with you. Man, look at the outward appearance. But God, he looks at the inward appearance. And you know, I want to tell you something today. If you don't know Jesus, get to know him. Because Jesus is a lover. Jesus will be a doctor to you. He will be a lawyer in a courtroom for you. Jesus, when everything else fell around you, he will still be there. The thing I love about him is that he don't remind me of my sin. The thing I love about him that I make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, but he still loves me the same. Some of us, you mess up with us twice, we'll write you off. But Jesus and his glory, the God of a second chance, he looked beyond your fault and saw your need. It's by grace and it's by mercy that we are saved. Because when we were in our sin, you ain't got to tell me your story, but when you was in your sin, you could have died. You could have ended up in the hospital sick unto death. You could have got to the point you lost your mind. But God kept you. He kept you. He kept you out of harm's way. Can you think about it for a minute? Can you think about it for a minute? All the time, North Little Rock pulled me over. And I had that stuff in the car. It was just Jesus keeping me. Every time I went out here and I laid with women, one of my wives, it was Jesus keeping me. Every time you fired something up, you drunk something, you lied on somebody, you done somebody wrong. Come on now. Mistreated some children, mistreated some old folk, got hatred in your heart towards your brother. It was Jesus that kept you. Come on now. It was him that kept you. And for that reason, I say this here, you ought to give him your everything. You ought to give him your everything. When you think about how you could have been independent, how you could have been dead, how you could have been gone. That's the reason why you always tell folks, you really don't know me. You don't know me. You know of me, but you don't know me. Because if you really know, could you really handle it? Any of y'all brothers in here got some testimony that if folks really know the truth about you, you think they really can handle it? Any of y'all sisters that if they really know the truth about you, could they really handle the truth? I mean, you know, it's someone you done came to terms with the truth, but can that person really handle the truth? See, God is saying, I'm warning you now before they even come to you, trying to size you up. Get it in your mind that you're going to succeed. Get it in your mind this year. 15 days, get it in your mind right now that this year is going to be a good year for me because I'm going to obey God. Get it in your mind today. that nobody, nothing, no place is going to separate me from the love of Christ. I hear the Lord say, I want to bless some of you all. I want to bless you. God want to bless your homes. He want to bless your children. He want to bless your families. But I hear the Lord saying, you got to get to a point. It's going to take you. Thing I love about this thing, can't nobody go to heaven for you but you. I want to touch and agree with you today. If you here today and you need prayer, I want to touch and agree with you. Because I want you to know the devil is a lie. And the truth is not in him. I want you to know right now, you were made for the devil. You were made for God. You were made for God. We give the devil his props. He used us. He used us. But now since we done came to our senses, we ain't falling for that no more. Glory. You got to take a stand in your mind. You don't let nothing, no one, no place stop you from what God is doing in your life. Say it. Yes, yes, yes. Made up mind. Made up heart. Change life. Victory is yours. Come on. Because of who you are, I give. Come on. Oh yes. Come on, come on. Because of who come on. Let the Lord work in your life. Let God enter in and change your conditions. Come on. Come on. If you're here today, you ought to come. Sell out to God, resist temptation, and endure to the end. And God will bring you through. He will do it. He will do it. Because he's a God of a second chance.